Welcome to this episode of the Million Dollar Mastermind. I'm Larry Weidel, and let's get started. Hello, this is Larry Weidel, and I want to welcome to the podcast a good friend of mine from Aspen, Colorado, Dr. Julian Gershon. Hello, Julian.
Hey, Larry, thanks for calling and having me on your show.
Yeah, let me just to give people a little background. Uh, Dr. Gershon is a triple board certified doctor in family medicine, sports medicine, and anti aging and regenerative medicine in Aspen and Denver. He works out of Aspen and Denver. Years of experience in regenerative medicine, anti aging, stem cell, and hormone therapy, all the cool stuff out there. And maybe we'll get him to mention a little bit about some of the things that are available uh, for you. It's a new era in health. And he runs the Aspen Institute for Anti Aging and Regenerative Medicine. So, Julian, thanks for sharing with us and glad to have you on.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here, Larry.
I'd like to just to kind of kick things off so people could get a feel for who you are and where you're coming from. Obviously, also, Julian's on the board, I believe. He's a nationally known speaker, regularly does conferences around the country, and is on the board of directors for uh, nutrition, different nutrition and supplement companies. And uh, it's not just a little doctor in Aspen and nationally known for a long time. And so, well aware of what's happening in medicine, but extremely high achiever. That's why we have him on this call. And, you know, Julia, if you would speak to this, people look at doctors and feel like, well, you know, it's easy for them. Of course, they have to go, and study for 10, 12, 16 years or something. But, basically it's just going to school, studying. Maybe you build up a big debt of bills you have to pay back. But, you're pretty much a cushy life. There's jobs galore. there, there's it's once you go to school and if you put yourself through that, then the rest of your life you can look forward to basically security, big income, and you wouldn't have to worry about prestige. You don't have to worry about the things most people have to worry about, and that's probably not you and I have never talked about that, but that's you're well versed to know that the reality of that, and I think it'd be good for to disabuse the public of that myth.
Well, I was trying really hard not to laugh while you were doing that. Wow. Well, that unfortunately, I don't know where that perception's come from. I guess growing up a doctor's kid, I also heard that everywhere, and living through it and seeing my father work literally 24/7, come home 30 minutes for dinner at 6 and go back to the hospital. That I know that's not true. And he was a hardworking guy, and like any business, there are those in the middle, there are those at the bottom, and there are those that won't settle for anything but the best. And the only way I know for that is to be smart and work hard and do things to set yourself apart. Hence, why I have three different board certifications. I was in family practice for a very long time, but I've been involved in primary care sports medicine for 40 years. To the level of 20 years as a Division I team physician at the University of North Texas, multiple Olympic teams that I've worked with, from the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs to Olympic judo, boxing, freestyle ski team. I've done some really fun things, and I've loved that all along the way as I continue to strive to learn more and try to be the best. Then anti-aging and regenerative medicine being what I saw as the next frontier in medicine some 17 years ago, when I said, hey, I want to set myself apart and be able to serve baby boomers, aging athletes, and be able to do really the cutting edge things that now we know. It seems like everyone just heard about anti-aging medicine or bioidentical hormone therapy last week. Well, this is an infant specialty that's really been around 20 plus years, with good friends of mine like Bill Falloon of Life Extension Magazine, a true pioneer of the field, Bob Goldman, or Ron Platz with the American Academy of Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine, who I have my anti-aging and regenerative medicine certification through. I've also done my stem cell fellowship, and I've been doing regenerative medicine and stem cell therapy for going on 9 years now. And, those are the things. I know I may be talking a long way around what you asked, but, you never, um, I don't ever accept middle of the road or mediocrity, because I want to be at the top of our field. There are so many breakthroughs. And so the things that we constantly learn, strive, go into meetings. It certainly wasn't done when I hung out the shingle 40 years ago. It's constantly learning new things, new techniques. I did a peptide certification 6 months ago at the urging of several of my clients for some time. Don't ask me why I waited, but it's always tough when your patients know more than you. And I needed to do that. And it's been a real breakthrough for some patients. And I've been using exosomes in regenerative medicine, really the frontier of the newest breakthroughs in stem cell therapy. I'm on the medical advisory board for Organocell out of Miami, and I think they have, the premier product in this marketplace. And we're now offering certification to other physicians this coming spring in April, and I'll be at that uh, event as well. So constantly learning new things. It's never, I'm not satisfied with being stagnant and just, it's the same old family practice. I delivered all my own 5 kids. I've done everything there is to do. I've owned a medical spa and done many things. And when I was in the North Texas and Denton, Texas, and Dallas areas, and now living in Aspen has been my lifelong dream. Um, and expanding this, not only nationally but internationally, is kind of the next thing on my radar. That's where I want to see things go. And so to get back to where you started with the old, I don't know if it's the paradigm, but certainly the frame of reference of those that, oh yeah, they got it easy. Yeah, they went to school for a little while. For me, it wasn't just going to school for a little while. I worked my ass off. I worked hard to get that, and I'm proud of it. And the things that I've accomplished over those years, I'm very proud of. And as we just continue to try to be your best every day, that's what's led me to anti-aging and regenerative medicine. Because my feeling is, at 67 and starting this road at 50, personally, with bioidentical hormone replacement, now with multiple stem cell and exosome treatments, you know, you have to have a foundation. You have to physically, mentally, and biochemically be your very best, or you can't. You've worked all this time, whether it's finance or setting yourself up to succeed in your businesses. You can't think, you can't be your best in all aspects unless you're balanced. And that goes from, workloads to emotional stress to family to spirituality, to the basis and foundation of what I do is build. I say you got to bake the cake first. We need all those ingredients, but we want to balance all hormone levels for men and women, and the icing on the cake, whether it be human growth hormone, different things that we use now, stem cells and exosomes, it all makes sense. And so I guess that was an awfully long explanation for your question, but I think that it's the key. You know, if you want to be your best, be most successful, and then enjoy the fruits of your labors, if you don't have the physical, mental, and emotional health and balance as we go forward, then you will fail.
Yeah, and the thing is that to be great at anything, you got to put one of the first things you got to put a lot of effort into it, and you're going to be using your brain and your body to do that. If you're asking a lot out of yourself, it only makes sense that you're going to put a lot of energy into the nutrition, the rest, the regeneration, and uh, as that's another reason to bust your rear and to be successful. So as you move up through your life, you can access. You have the funds to be able to access some of these new revolutionary, life extending, peak performance extending treatments and therapies that are out there, and not just shrivel up, crunch up, uh, and head to the couch for the last 20 years of your life. And it's 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 great to be able to just feel right, and you know. It takes money to do that. It takes energy and effort, and it takes a decision that relates to what do I want out of life? Do I want greatness? Do I want to spend my life pursuing greatness, pursuing peak performance, or not? And when you do that, of course, you're going to work hard, but you're going to enjoy things that are just they're just dreams or fantasies for most people. And so as you've gone out there, you have to, you've cleared it up for us. And when it comes to medicine, it's going to be just like every other field. If you want to be great, you got to put in the effort. And to do that, yet that comes back to your decision about what you want your life to amount to, but also what I see with you, you made a lot of changes, you made a lot of adjustments, you've had a lot of initiative in taking the initiative where you would get in situations and maybe it would run its course or new options would show up that you had now learned better ways of doing it, and you would reconfigure yourself, get a different kind of business, go from a family practice to a spa business. You would get certifications you didn't have before. Talk about initiative, like opportunities that allow you to be great. You got to plant yourself in an arena that will allow you to be great. And that's what I've see that you've done repeatedly, and you ended up with really the coolest and hottest and most exciting end of medicine. But that was not by accident. That was by design. So talk about the fact that, if you want greatness in your life, it helps to be uh, in a business, in an industry that's growing, a company that's growing, and an end of that company or that business that's the most exciting, the biggest growth potential. And they're not going to come looking for you. You got to do what it takes to get yourself positioned in there. So talk about that for a minute, if you would, Julian.
Sure. Well, absolutely. And that, as I said, I recognized that fact 17 years ago when I was turning 50, that I had already at that point had nearly 30 years, 20 some years, almost 30 in primary care, sports medicine, and work, the insurance model and collections and keeping 40 cents on the dollar. And I knew that wasn't going to work for me. And I wanted to serve the baby boomers and be in a position where I could relieve that stress, yet still do what I love doing, which is helping others, and helping. Our motto in my clinic is to, help people live better longer. And through technology, through breakthroughs in anti-aging and regenerative medicine, we are seeing that. We're seeing things with life extension and the age reversal network, and experiments that are being done on ridding the body of senescent and dying or zombie cells. Um, we see that out there, but just wanting to do that is not enough. You have to create your own opportunity. I moved here in 2010 after my youngest two sons' mother died in 2009 of brain cancer, and I just needed a break. I felt I needed them to start over, and I literally started from zero. We left everything behind in Texas without selling the farm, so to speak. And I grew up ski racing. It's been on my wish list since I was 14 years old to live in the mountains where I can out my windows, Snowmass, Aspen Islands, and Ruthie's Run on Ajax. I can see them all from my window. And, it's my lifelong dream. But it wasn't just going to happen if I didn't take the steps to set myself apart. And then, it's constant work, promotion, talking to others, now working, sharing stories, sharing success stories through, Instagram and Facebook from our company, and then being involved nationally with speaking and meetings and learning new things. And so I'm constantly striving to reach out to new patients. And I literally now, being in a international destination ski resort like Aspen, I have patients all over the world. And so we're working very hard at trying to take that message, certainly across the country and around the world. And the more we can help, the more rewarding it is, and the more we benefit, the more our business benefit. So I just think it's important to never quit, to always strive to be better. My role model is my father, who's 95 and in great health. He retired from medicine 2 years ago. two
Wow.
years ago at 93,
Wow.
but he didn't really retire. I said, "What are you doing, Dad?" He's, "Well, I'm working with hospice once a week, and I'm, going to sitting and working with people that are terminal. I go to the vet. He goes to the vet hospital and gives them a certificate of their service because he's a veteran of World War II. So he's always doing something at 95. I don't know that I really want to have to work till I'm 93, but I guess with 5 kids, that's possible." But, the important thing that I see, he's still going to state meetings a couple times a year. He reads every single day. He's always renewing his mind to stay fresh with thinking. Of course, he's not striving to build a business or share it anywhere else. But to me, I watched him work very hard as a double board certified guy, working, 24/7 for 64 years. And, he's really, the bar was set pretty high in our family from that.
Absolutely. And it helps to have those pictures out there. And, I appreciate you sharing this kind of insight with us. I think you and I should lock in on Klaus Obermeyer for our skiing. He just he just had his 100th birthday, and I think it said in the article he was planning to ski till he's 103 years old. That would make it 100 years skiing, and so may,
Amazing.
maybe maybe you and I, Julian, can decide we're going to try and ski longer than ski past 103.
Well, hey, my goal is 120. So
Okay, 120. All right.
yeah,
Okay.
these guys didn't have hormone therapy or stem cells or exosomes, so we got all the secret sauce now.
That's exactly right. Well, thanks for all of that. And thanks for listening to this episode of Million Dollar Mastermind with me, Larry Weidel. If I've helped you in any way, leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. For more information like this, listen to our other Million Dollar Mastermind episodes and check out my Weidel Academy YouTube channel and visit us on WeidelOnWinning.com. I'm the Million Dollar Mastermind, and until next time, go, go, go.